Today on AgriTalk, we will be learning about two of the most commonly asked crops on this channel, turmeric and ginger. But not in the conventional way you have seen them. In this structure, ginger and turmeric are being grown in the soilless trough systems with cocoa peat. In today's video, you will learn everything technical about growing ginger and turmeric inside a polyhouse. We will also discuss everything around the business model, revenue, economics, and marketing of turmeric and ginger. And most importantly, we will discuss, apart from wet and dry turmeric and ginger, what are the different revenue possibilities in these two very special crops. But before we dive into this educational episode, let me introduce to you the founders of this business.
Hi, I am Adishesh, mechanical engineer.
I am Raghunandan. I am a chartered accountant turned farmer.
I am Sanjay, a civil engineer.
I'm Sashikant Walam, IT professional.
We are the founders of Thota.
The four co-founders of Thota come from very different backgrounds. We have always loved plants, loved soil, and loved to do something around agriculture, because agriculture is the next big opportunity in India and in the world. Feeding safe, healthy, residue-free food is the future, and that's where we saw a lot of value and opportunities in agriculture. But traditionally, agriculture is seen as a loss-making profession where farmers don't make money. So that's where the vision of Thota was born, as to how can we make agriculture profitable, professional, and run it in a corporate setup using some of the latest and the best practices, and having always sustainability and profitability in our vision and the fold of Thota.
When we got into agriculture, so we didn't want to go in a conventional way of open, because open farming needed a lot of labors, a lot of machinery, everything. So just we wanted some protected farming. So we started off with the net house farming. In the protected soilless, we started off with capsicum. But here, initially it was going very fine because labor was not an issue. Because every acre we needed 3 people, 2 ladies and 1 gent to maintain the capsicum. But year on year, it was getting very, very challenging to maintain those labor parts. Some parts we were doing ginger and turmeric between this capsicum. So that was giving good result. Then we studied what can be done, why we can take ginger. Then we, that labor was one thing, and value addition with these crops is humongous. And plus shelf life of this capsicum, you have to harvest the same day, you have to sell the same day. But with ginger, turmeric, you can keep, if you have deep pockets, you keep for 1 year, keep for 2 years, nothing will happen to the crop.
All of us have heard a lot about growing turmeric and ginger inside a polyhouse, but today we're at a 6.5 facility where only these two crops are being grown. So I am very curious. Let's go inside and see how these crops actually are being grown. On this channel, sir, turmeric and ginger are two of the most popularly asked crops. Before we start, can you explain briefly where we are, about your farm, how much area is it in, what is this structure? Let's give a quick introduction.
Okay, this entire plot is a 10-acre plot. What we have under production is a 6 acres. Under production is 6 acres, which 4.5 acres is naturally ventilated polyhouse, and this 2 acres where we are inside is a tunnel.
Is a tunnel structure. Yeah. Understood. Now, when it comes to turmeric and ginger, which we will be covering later in the video, the first common question is how many plants should there be in 1 acre? With grow bags, there were different numbers. Can you explain what is your planting density here?
We have a planting density of almost 30,000 per acre. And with grow bag also similar thing. But with grow bag, what happens, troughs are more economical than grow bags, and your drip irrigation is also more economical in trough than the grow bags.
Understood. So 30,000 plants per acre is a standard average. And the reason you've chosen troughs is because you're saying there's more cost saving
Yes.
and it's more economical.
Exactly.
So when it comes to planting density, a very common question farmers have is what should be the plant to plant distance and the bed to bed distance. So can you explain everything in terms of density here? I see that you have a wide bed
Exactly.
and a small distance between the bed also. Can we discuss that over here?
See, these beds we have a 1 meter wide bed.
This is 1 meter.
1 meter wide, yeah. And plant to plant density is 35 centimeter. So along the 1 meter, we'll have 4 plants. So
Okay.
it's like we are 3 drip lines going. So between 1, 2, 3, 4 in
Okay.
one line. And next is 35 centimeter is next plantation.
Understood. So there's one plant here. Where's the second plant?
It's here.
Okay. And the third plant?
It's next.
So
it's all
one-
because tied together. So that's
So you're saying 35 centimeter divided into 4 parts and 35 centimeter
35 centimeter laterally.
laterally. Okay.
And this we divide into 4 parts.
Got it.
1 meter divided by 4, that's the density we keep.
Understood. And what this width is 1 meter.
1 meter, exactly.
And if I want to do it in the trough system, what should be the height I should take off my trough?
A trough can be at least 1.5 meter. That's you need at least what my criteria is. You need at least 7 to 8 inches of coco peat.
7 to 8 inches of coco peat.
Okay.
Understood.
And below that, for the drainage, we put coir.
Hmm.
This is called, you have a coir, so that there's no water accumulation down.
Okay.
Coco peat keeps holding the water, so we have this coir actually.
Mm-hmm.
You understood? So we have that is laid throughout underneath.
Got it.
So there's any water retention won't be there. It'll just go off.
Got it. Let's talk a little bit more about the substrate and the variety.
Okay.
So over here you are growing turmeric in total how much area, sir?
Turmeric we have 1.5 acres.
And what varieties of turmeric are you growing?
The 1 acre is Pratibha and half acre is Lacadong. And it's mixed with mango ginger.
Understood. On what basis should I choose my variety? We can also discuss this. There are multiple factors which typically determine the location of your farm, growing conditions, the objective. What are the different factors that we have to keep in mind while choosing the variety of the turmeric?
Variety of turmeric totally depends on this area. For our area, Pratibha suits very well. Pratibha and Pragati both suits very well for our variety. Lacadong we are doing just experimentation because apparently curcumin is supposed to be high, but we need to test. We don't know. So best variety for a high yielding variety and for 8 months duration, Pratibha and Pragati are the best varieties.
So Pratibha and Pragati can be grown anywhere in India?
Yes, it can be grown anywhere in India.
Understood. So those are used for high yielding varieties.
High yielding varieties.
And in terms of growing conditions, what are the ideal growing conditions for turmeric? Like Bangalore is one area we're doing it, but where else in India can turmeric be done?
See, it's a hardy crop actually. Turmeric is quite a hardy crop because it's a pest repellent. On its own, it's a pest repellent. So a basic neem sprays will do for any pest. And fungus you can totally control. If the moisture of the medium is controlled, you can control any fungus also.
So there's no particular temperature range, humidity
It
range?
is like South India, it goes to 40-42 degrees. It grows very well. And minimum temperature inside should not come below 12 to 15 degrees.
So you're saying anywhere between 15 to 40 degrees
yeah,
I can
yeah.
grow. So as you were explaining to me, one of the most important components in soilless growing is the substrate. Can you explain what is the composition of your substrate over here? And what are the different things we must keep in mind in terms of substrate for turmeric especially?
Okay. We lay a layer of coir at the bottom to avoid any water stagnation. Over that, we mix coco peat along with your fermented organic manure and vermicompost.
Understood. And in terms of moisture, that's another key component you
Yes.
mentioned a few times. Why is moisture so important for turmeric? And can you explain how do you maintain that moisture?
We keep between the root zone moisture, we keep at the range between 30 to 50%.
30 to 50%.
Exactly.
Understood. And what happens if the moisture increases or decreases?
If moisture goes beyond 55-60%, there's again a rot starts happening.
Understood. So turmeric you're saying is a hardy crop,
Hardy crop.
but moisture is one of the key things that you must maintain.
Yes.
And that moisture percentage should be anywhere between 30 to 50%.
So that accordingly we fertigate accordingly. That's it.
And how do you measure the moisture? Like what is the way?
We have a pulse moisture meter and EC meter, which is connected through a Bluetooth in a mobile. So randomly we go and check at the random places and check that.
Another common question with coco peat is, how long do I put the coco peat for? So how long are you putting each coco peat for? When do you have to replace it? And when is the sign that the coco peat needs to be changed or moved?
Coco peat changing of coco peat comes only after the life cycle of this entire plant.
Okay.
But during the process of when the plant is coming up, we see when the rhizomes, when we see on top, we keep filling with the coco peat so that rhizomes are not exposed to sunlight.
Okay, so the moment you start seeing rhizomes, you have to put the coco peat on
Just
top
cover, yes.
to ensure that the darkness is maintained,
Yes.
because the rhizomes need proper darkness
Yes.
to develop. And you mentioned that the crop cycle of turmeric is how much? 8 months?
8 to 9 months.
8 to 9 months. So after my crop cycle is done, the entire coco peat will be replaced.
We will not replace. We will remove the entire thing, and whatever the coco peat is stuck to the roots, we'll use that also. We'll again put it back, and again we'll solarize it for some time to take care of any pest, and then we add another 20 to 30% of coco peat, fresh coco peat.
Okay,
Because-
so what I'll try to summarize is you'll remove this out, then you leave it in the.
No, we'll not remove. That's a fundamental of this funda of having this stuff.
Okay.
In the grow bag, you have to remove everything here.
Ah.
So here, anything you treat in this bed itself.
How do you treat that, sir?
First is solarization,
Ah.
and then next is especially that comes for ginger because of secondary metabolites. We decompose any roots which are left in the ginger. We give a lot of urea and decompose any organic material which is of the ginger plant which is left.
Understood.
And here also any old organic, so we try to decompose with giving extra urea. So we can for 2 months we can grow a palak or your coriander types.
Understood.
Which needs high nitrogen.
Understood. So basically, there's not much replacement you need to do, just a small top
Addition,
up.
yes.
So it's almost like this stays here, and for how much time can I continue using it? Like, is there a particular time frame do you have in mind?
Unless these are decomposed coco peat.
Huh.
This is not fresh coco peat.
Understood.
These are decomposed coco peat, because what happens with the fresh coco peat, after 7-8 months, they start decomposing. Then they generate a lot of heat. That's why the plants, for the fresh coco peat, that's the issue. Since these are already decomposed, you can keep using it again and again.
How old is this coco peat, sir?
When we bought, it was almost 9 to 10 months old coco peat.
Okay, and now it's already been planted for another 8 months, 7-8 months.
Yes.
So it's been almost a year and a half.
Yes.
This coco peat is
Exactly.
understood. By growing turmeric and ginger in protected cultivation in greenhouse structures like this, growers are able to increase the yield because they have a greater control over climatic conditions, better control over the root zone, and as a result, the pesticide usage on the crops is much lesser, leading to residue-free produce, which is one of the biggest demand of nutraceutical buyers. Sir, typically turmeric and ginger, these crops are grown in the open field.
Correct.
You were mentioning you've done a small trial in open field, after which you were growing it in a polyhouse.
Yes.
What are the differences between growing turmeric in open field versus polyhouse you observed?
Okay, with the polyhouse, the initial cost is very high, but later on the repetitive cost of labor to cover the rhizomes with soil is huge, and the giving fertilizers and maintaining the weeds is very huge.
In open field?
In open field. Whereas I don't have that issue in polyhouse, in coco peat.
What if I do without soil in open field? Is that a good solution?
Now again, if it's a high rainfall area, because as you know, coco peat holds a lot of moisture. So that again
Will impact
the rhizomes very badly.
Understood. So like sir was explaining before that in turmeric, we don't want to expose the rhizome to light.
Yes.
So in open field, that process is a lot more labor consuming,
Yes.
time consuming.
Exactly.
Another very important factor, sir, which people need to understand is the growth stages of turmeric. Later on, we will go and understand how the fertigation schedule varies. But can you explain what the crop cycle of turmeric looks like across each stage? There's the rhizome initiation stage, planting stage.
Yeah.
Step by step, can you take us through the crop cycle?
Sure, I'll do. So after the bed is prepared, we give a round of fertigation before the planting. We see the right planting material and the planting is done. Typically a half acre takes a day, so 1 acre takes 2 days planting. And after that, planting is generally done not very deep planting, it's a shallow planting. So
How deep should I plant my
1
rhizome?
inch, maximum inch, not more than that.
Okay, so 1 inch deep in the coco peat, the rhizome should go.
Rhizome should go. So after that, then it will take at least roughly around 2 to 3 weeks for it to germinate and come the first shoot to be seen. And from there on, it's a vegetative growth. We consider for these rhizome crops 1 to 3 months as vegetative growth. So for that, our fertigation is totally different. It is high on nitrogen, low on phosphorus and potassium. I have all this thing. And after 3rd to 6th month, it goes into regenerative stage.
Okay.
That's when the rhizome initiation happens, everything starts building up at the plant also grows, but there is a growth at the root also.
So the rhizome starts growing downwards.
Exactly. Not they grow laterally.
Laterally. Okay.
After 7 months, they go into it's called, the plant goes into, start getting into preparing for dormancy.
Dormancy, which is the phase we are in right now.
That comes in winter. Like most of the animals they do in winter, these plants also, they get into dormancy stage. So they take all the energy and they start giving to their rhizomes.
Which is very interesting, which is what a lot of people must be thinking. The crop is burning or anything.
Yeah.
But actually what the plant is doing is it's transferring its energy towards the rhizome.
The rhizomes.
This is the dormancy stage.
Yes.
And can you once again emphasize on the nutrition schedule across each stage? Like you mentioned during the first stage, the rhizome initiation stage, vegetative stage,
Yes.
there the nitrogen has to be higher.
Yes.
What are the other things I have to keep in mind for fertigation across each of the stages?
See, all the nutrients goes, all the macro and micro goes right from first month to 9th month.
What are the macro and micronutrients typically? Entire NPK.
Entire everything. Starts from nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium. Then you start with the boron. All your micros are molybdenum, your boron, your manganese, your everything. So everything goes. But first to 3 months, everything is in lower stage. 3 to 6 months is on a higher dosage. And again, from 7th month, it's again reduced.
To summarize nutrition, can you just tell what are the key things you have to keep in mind across the 3 stages?
So, vegetative stage is high of nitrogen and balance of potassium and phosphorus. But the micro is all same throughout the stage. And when it comes to reproductive stage, that's the generative stage, which is 3rd to 6th month, it goes very high on potassium and marginally high on phosphorus and marginally high on nitrogen. And after when it's on the last stage, when it is getting to dormancy, then everything reduces, considerably everything reduces.
When we are choosing the variety, another important thing in turmeric is the size of the rhizome, the weight of the rhizome. What is the ideal weight of the rhizome growers should look at? Is there some parameter they should keep in mind?
See, ideally, good rhizome with 60-70 grams with at least 5 or 6 eyes, from there they sprout. If 5 to 6 eyes are there, that's ideal planting material. You will have good number of tillers coming out from there, and good reproduction will happen because of that. Compared to with 20-30 grams, you will get maximum 2 or 3 eyes.
So you're saying minimum size of the rhizome when I'm buying, I should keep in mind should be 60 to 70 grams.
Yes, that's ideal.
Understood.
For maximum production.
And if there are 30,000 plants, does that mean 30,000 into 60 grams? Is that how I calculate?
Yes, exactly.
So roughly per acre is almost
1.8 tons.
So 1.8 tons is my total rhizome requirement for doing turmeric cultivation commercially. And the second important part, sir, you explained about the fertigation schedule across each stage, how the fertigation is managed. Can you explain the dripping system, the fertigation system? I see you have 3-line drip here.
Yes.
You have another system over here. What is this? Can you explain how you're managing it?
Okay, so these are drip lines are 1 LPH because since it's a coco peat, water has to fall very slowly for that to disperse. If water falls fast, it just goes down. As slow it falls, you can take a coco peat, put water slowly, it disperses across the thing. So that's why we go with a 1 LPH emitters in this drip line. So, and like I told, the moisture what we keep is 40 to 50%, not more than it. So accordingly, we do the irrigation along with the fertilizers. So a shot we calculate at 30 ml per plant, 30 to 35 ml per plant. Based on number of plant, we calculate total amount of water required. It comes for a half acre comes almost 750 liters to 800 liters.
800 liters per half acre.
Per half acre, 1 shot of irrigation.
In 1 shot of irrigation.
So we do, depending on the macro climate, we do 3 to 4. If it's too cloudy, maximum 2. And if that's what we maintain the moisture and do that irrigation.
Which is another important point. What is the ideal EC and pH range I should look to maintain for my root zone in coco peat?
See,
does that vary across stages?
No, it doesn't vary across stages. That's the root zone you have to maintain it. That's constant actually. Suppose you're giving at your fertigation room, you're giving AC of 1.8. The root zone should not grow more than 0.5 or 0.6.
Understood. So my EC at my root zone should always be around 0.5, 0.6.
What you're giving at the fertigation is 1.8.
One-
It should not cross 2.3 to 2.5. If I'm
Understood.
giving 2.2 there, root zone should not cross 2.8. It should not cross 3 times.
Okay, so the
Understood.
maximum is 3.
That the stage of the plant we go. Initially we give at 1.6, then we slowly increase. From third to fourth month, it is 2.2, 2.4.
Okay,
And at the root zone, it should not cross 3.
understood. So across the stage of the crop,
Yes.
that also varies. So sir, for rhizomes, we spoke that we need roughly 1.8 tons of rhizomes for 1 acre of turmeric. Another important factor, of course, is my total coco peat and substrate requirement. So what is the total substrate requirement for 1 acre when I have to grow in trough system? I'm assuming you need more substrate in troughs compared to grow bags.
Exactly. So you need more coco peat in trough. Okay. So you need around 100 tons of coco peat, 10 tons of vermicompost, 10 tons of FOM, that is fermented organic manure, which is a sugar plant's byproduct. So we mix this. So this are almost 120 tons per acre. We mix this and
So total substrate mix is of 120 tons per acre. To understand the costing economics, watch the video till the end. We will discuss each thing in proper detail. So common question a lot of people will have at this point is, should they go for grow bags? Should they go for troughs? What is the pros and cons of doing each? So like trough, I can see that obviously you have a wider root volume, but compared to grow bag, which one would you advise people to do turmeric in?
Okay, how will I take it as is, again, grow bag, your economic wise is, main issue is the economy with the grow bags, because drip cost goes higher, your grow bag cost goes higher, and that is the main disadvantage with grow bag and trough. But trough, one con with the trough is, if there is one issue somewhere with the plant, the spreading is, you can't control the spread of the disease.
Mhm.
In that same trough. That is one con with the trough. Okay, but grow bag, you can just, if anything is the disease effect, you can just remove that grow bag and keep it aside. So there's no spreading of the disease in grow bags.
How do you manage that here? So you're using trough. Is pest and disease a common problem you face with turmeric? If yes, how do you manage it?
See, we have a regular 15 days, we have a spray of neem. Plus, every monthly twice we send shots of trichoderma and pseudomonas. And plus, we see a pest issues, then we have, there are spinosides, blue organic spinosides are there, we should use that spinoside.
So all organic and bio products?
The spinosides, Utkarsh bio spinoside is there.
Understood. So what are the common diseases or symptoms which you get to know, basis which you put, or this is mostly preventative?
Main issue is the root rot.
That
comes with the high moisture. About 60-70% if you have moisture, then root rot comes. So that can be avoided if you control the moisture at the root.
Understood.
And you have a leaf spot, that's a fungus, but that's, especially in turmeric, can be controlled quite easily, because turmeric acid is a pest repellent type of a plant.
Yep. So you're saying by nature it's a hardy crop.
Hardy crop.
Mostly bioproducts, organic products can solve for the
Yes.
pest issue. Another very important thing sir is saying again and again is around the moisture levels. And this is how, sir, you're measuring the moisture levels.
Yes.
Can you give us a sample example of how do you measure the moisture?
Yeah.
I'm assuming the data comes on your phone.
It's a Bluetooth connected.
So when you put a device, what is this called, sir?
Pulse.
This is called a pulse meter. And when you put this pulse meter in the soil,
connected through Bluetooth,
it's showing me my EC, which is 2.63. That is okay, sir?
Yes, that's okay, because incoming EC is 2.2 now.
Okay, so the incoming EC matlab EC jo, which is going in the plant.
Plant which is coming from the fertigation room.
This is my outgoing EC.
No, there's no outgoing EC. Incoming which is coming from the fertigation room, which comes through the drip, is 2.2. What I make the recipe there in the
Understood.
that is 2.2.
Understood.
So that root zone is just around 0.3 more. That's absolutely fine.
Got it. And the moisture level is 34%, which is fine.
Which is fine.
Again, you said the moisture should be
40. We should not cross 40, 50. 50 is 60 and all is very bad. So 34 to this is an acceptable limits.
And the temperature, sir, you're saying 29.8 degrees
Yes.
Celsius. What is the ideal root zone temperature for turmeric?
Again, on the maximum, on a super sunny day, it goes to maximum 32 to 33. If the plant crop cover is there, it won't cross like 30.
Okay.
When the plant is in smaller stages, it crosses 32, 33. But around 30 is a good temperature to manage with.
Important takeaway here, if you're getting into any form of soilless farming, particularly turmeric, then moisture is the major issue. Like you mentioned, sir, pest, it's not very prone to pest and diseases, but it starts at the moisture level.
Moisture. If it is high, rot starts.
Perfect. So as you can see, we are at a very crucial stage of turmeric. We will understand how the harvesting practices are done. First and foremost thing is the hygiene. First thing I was made to do was put on these gloves, and these are very thick gloves. So I think hygiene plays a very crucial role in turmeric.
Exactly. So we have to ensure that we don't touch the rhizome much, and moreover, when you're harvesting, it's a coco peat, it gets filled in between the nails. That cleaning is also a tough one.
So a couple of more things. This crop is 7 months old, another 1.5 2 months for it to mature fully. We're still going to take it out to show it to you. So, sir, what are the things while harvesting we have to keep in mind in terms of practice?
Practice, you have to see coco peat is quite expensive material. A lot of coco peat will be attached to the root. So you have to see that is not wasted. So take the plant out, shake as much possible, so as much coco peat falls down, take it to a place where you can collect the coco peat when you're cleaning the rhizomes.
Got it. So can you show us, sir, how do we harvest it? Oh wow, the whole thing comes out like that. Oh my god. Beautiful. So while the harvesting itself, we have to remove
As much as possible.
Wow. You can see this is turmeric, this is the rhizomes. I hope it's seen in the camera.
So you can see the
root development.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wow. This is fascinating for me also.
And I think we can take it there. We can collect the coco peat.
So you can just show it towards the camera once maybe. This, what sir is mentioning, remove as much coco peat as possible at this stage itself,
So
because
you can see the roots, how white it is.
So, but while removing the coco peat, my roots will also get damaged.
Damage does not, no, we are removing the plant, right?
Okay.
Your plant is going to be dead.
Got it. So this is my turmeric rhizome, which we will go and measure now. So before we even harvest, before we measure, remove each turmeric and measure it here, notice that this is the stem of the crop.
Exactly.
This is an extension of the stem, this is the root. So these are tuberous crops where the actual thing of use is the stem itself.
Yes.
So now, sir, how do we remove it and next steps from here?
Just slowly first you have to remove the top, what is above the ground.
Okay.
You break it and keep it separate. Oh. See, this is also actually you get the turmeric fragrance out of that.
ये हार्वेस्ट करना काफी मेहनत का काम है.
ना सॉइल में बहुत ही ज्यादा मुश्किल है.
So this harvesting
is very easy in coco peat.
Is it?
Yeah.
Looks like it's a lot of work, sir.
No, but when you see the soil harvesting, it is you need 10 to 12 people for a quarter of acre for a day.
Wow.
Because they need spade, sickle, everything.
I can understand why we are wearing gloves. According to you, this looks like a healthy amount of...
Yeah. This can go up maybe every year as a learning. So like I told, rhizomes size. So since we have our own rhizomes, next year I'll have a typically,
So when you say you'll have your own rhizomes, you'll take one of these itself.
Exactly.
And then multiply it.
We see, typically I'll keep this as a planting material. You will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 eyes are there.
Oh, wonderful. I'll just show that again to the camera, which sir was mentioning earlier in the video. The eyes of a turmeric. So when you're choosing the planting material also, you have to keep in mind that it's either 60 to 70 grams. This is what we call a rhizome.
Yes, exactly. I'll tell you the weight.
Yeah, you can check this one. This is 64 grams. So this rhizome you see here is 64 grams. And like sir was mentioning, how many eyes should it have, sir?
It will be having at least 8 or 9 eyes.
So one eye, this is what we call an eye. Here, 1 eye, 2 eye, 3 eye, 4 eye, 5 eye, 6 eye, 7 eye. Yeah, 8 eye, so I can see.
So
understood. So like this, manually we have to harvest each thing.
Exactly. So once you're giving, you remove the entire coco peat, wash it, and then sell it actually to the whoever is a buyer. So
Understood.
cleaning is soil. The cleaning is.
This is still wet rhizome.
This is a wet rhizome.
Understood. This is what we call is the wet rhizome.
So, and I'll just show you that this is the planting material. We call it as mother rhizome.
This is what you had put.
Yeah, that's the mother rhizome.
So this is the mother rhizome which sir had put in their plantation.
So just
This is
think-
very small.
This is very small.
What is the
So
weight of this?
This will be same weight. 20 grams.
So you have to put like 2-3.
Ideally. So I had put only one.
Okay.
So the difference will be, you can see 20 grams to 60 grams, this will be at least double or triple of this. If you
Understood.
put this rhizome.
Understood. I don't want to increase your work, but I'm very curious to see what the production is per this plant. How much do you think this is the
Weight approx, I'll just, this cocoa peat will be there some, but approx I can say. So it is almost 1.6 kgs.
This is roughly 1.5 to 1.6 kgs
So if
production.
you use a good rhizome, it will
Ah.
be easily around 2 to 3 kgs.
Understood. So per plant production is 1.5 kgs.
Yes.
And you're saying with good rhizome, with proper practices, if you maintain moisture, you can go up to 2 kgs per plant.
Easily, more than 2. So you can double this.
Understood. So this is what turmeric wet rhizome looks like. We'll go ahead and understand what are the economics, what are the scopes for processing. But if you have any more questions in the agronomy section, do let us know in the comments and we will do our best to answer them. We are in a ginger polyhouse. Like I mentioned, we'll be talking about turmeric and
yes.
ginger. Now, in terms of crop, they're both from the same family. But what are the key differences for growing of ginger as against turmeric? Let's start from day one.
Okay, day one, again getting the right quality of seed material or the planting material is very, very key. In ginger, and it's very important compared to turmeric. Like I told, turmeric is itself as a like whenever we get a fever or a old mom gives us turmeric milk, it itself is a repellent, pest repellent or any fungus repellent. But ginger is not like that. Ginger is very susceptible to moisture, like same continues here also. Excessive moisture, it gets rot faster than turmeric.
Moisture is important.
Moisture is very, very important. And there is an issue called leaf spot. Okay, you can see the small leaf spot had come here, but we controlled it actually. If the leaf spot is not controlled, within 2 or 3 months, entire plantation will go off. That's a bacterial leaf actually.
Understood.
So all this we can control with the Trichoderma pseudomonas.
Same over here.
Over here, with keeping the plant healthy. That's what we do. We try to keep a plant as healthy as possible.
What is the variety being grown here, sir?
This is a variety called Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro.
It's most in southern India. This variety is most common here.
Understand. What is the crop cycle here like? Sir, turmeric, we mentioned it is 8 to 9 months.
So this is roughly around. This is all the same. Almost.
Similar.
It is ready for harvest. The entire plant has to dry. Then it will be taken another 1 month. It will be ready for harvest.
Understood. So because the fundamentals I'm assuming are the same as turmeric,
Exactly.
we'll do a quick comparison as against turmeric. So I'm assuming the bed width and the size, all of that
It's all
are the same.
Same,
So
yes.
same as turmeric.
There is small change here. There it was a 9-meter bay. This is a 8-meter bay.
Okay.
So here I have a 1.1 meter. Instead of 1 meter, I have a 1.1 meter. And there I had 1 meter of 6 beds of 1 meter. Here I have 5 beds of 1.1 meter.
Understood. So bed width is slightly more
More
because the bay is
different.
different. Understood. In terms of height and all of that,
All same.
it's the same. Second thing now you said the variety selection is important.
Yes.
What do you call, like we call rhizomes over there? Same thing over here? What do
Yeah. This is also called rhizome.
Rhizome. So what is the planting volume of rhizome? What should be the size of one rhizome when I plant?
All that is more or less same. So like I said, if you have a 60 grams rhizomes, you will have at least 25 to 30 tillers. If you have a 20 to 25 grams rhizome, the tiller count will be maximum 15 types.
Understood. And in terms of density, sir, is it similar?
It's almost 30,000 plant per acre.
30,000. So I think major of the things will be the same.
Same, exactly.
What is different? Can we highlight what is different for ginger before we get into harvesting, seeing how it looks? What are the things versus turmeric that differ in ginger?
Growing, like I said, that if you don't control the moisture, there's a it's more prone to rot than turmeric.
Basically,
It is not as hardy as, it is not a hardy crop like turmeric. So you have to be extra careful in this.
Understood. That's one point. And in terms of nutrition, fertigation,
That is all same. Both are rhizome, both are same.
Understood. And here I see that the density seems like it's a lot more compared
Lot more
to
because turmeric, that number of tillers coming is hardly 3 or 4. Here this is one plant, you can see these are called tillers.
Okay, you can show it here.
1, 2,
You can close up here maybe.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 tillers in one plant.
These are all from one plant.
One plant, yeah. That is a different plant.
So what we call bulb over there, tiller bulb is same,
Yeah.
interchangeably.
Yeah.
So here there are more tillers compared to turmeric.
Turmeric, exactly.
Understood. So all of this are from the
Same, yes.
same rhizome. Got it. So you mentioned both turmeric and ginger are both 8 to 9 month crops. But another important thing is the plantation time.
Yes.
Which is the right time to plant? Does it vary across India? How does it vary in open field versus protected cultivation?
See, under protected cultivation, the ideal time is February to March.
For the plantation of rhizome.
Yes. Then that's the best because they go through that entire spring season, they go to the rainy season. That's the best yield I've ever seen is if you plant in February or March. This year we planted in March. Now next year I'm going to plant in February.
Okay.
1 month earlier I'll do. And there are significant from some of the scholars, there are inputs. There is a input change when you plant with this planting time. And once I had tried with planting in October, but that was very bad results.
Okay, so you're saying February, March is a good time to
Yes.
plant. And when
In polyhouse.
in polyhouse. Some people also,
Open field, because of rain-fed area, it all depends on various factors.
Okay.
So
so February, March, if I put by October, November, around this time,
you'll be ready for harvest.
it'll be ready for harvest. And this is common across India, you're saying.
Yeah. This I'm more talking in the polyhouse thing.
Understood. So like we saw in turmeric, we will understand the harvesting process in ginger as well because most of the other things are similar. So sir, again, I'm assuming similar harvesting practices.
Yes.
So we'll harvest this and then we'll take it and wait and let's see how much it weighs.
See, you start breaking the tillers.
Start breaking.
This tillers. This top portion is called tillers.
Which one?
This,
Acha.
the stems, top thing, which
Alright, so the first thing we're doing is removing the coco peat, then breaking the tillers. I don't think mine has any tillers.
yeah, nothing. You can take out the roots. thick
These roots also I can remove?
Yeah.
Okay, we remove the roots. This is the harvested ginger, very similar to turmeric because they're of the same family. You can see the amount of harvest. 2 hands are not sufficient to hold it, but we're attempting to take it to the weighing scale. How much do you think this must be, sir?
This should 2.
So what is the average production per plant in
See, it's
ginger?
directly proportional. The rhizome, the mother rhizome, what you see, is directly proportional.
Similar, but 1.5 to 2?
1.5 to 2, yes.
Okay, now is the real time. Let's test it. You should probably get a bigger scale, sir, now.
No, we have.
Acha.
We capsicum grower, so 2.7. Like I said, 2 kgs, 2.6.
2.6 kgs including the
bucket. 6.
This is 600 grams. 2.6 minus 600, roughly 2 kgs per plant.
Bingo.
And how many plant you said again here?
30,000.
So roughly you're saying close to 50 to 60 tons?
No, all the rhizomes will not be same. Like, where is the mother rhizome?
Yeah.
It is a little bigger mother rhizome.
Okay. Still, what is the average production you can take?
So next year I'll use all similar 50 to 60 gram mother rhizomes only. Okay, so then we can, like I told, we can cross 50 tons easily. So this is around 30 grams rhizome. So
Fruit. This
this
30
30 grams. I think one more piece should be there.
Here.
Yeah, see. 70 grams.
70 grams for 2 rhizomes which you used.
70 grams. This is a total 1 mother rhizome. That's it.
This is
70,
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So with 70 gram, you can easily touch 2 kg. So then next cycle, I'll have all the mother rhizomes at 65 to 70 grams.
Very
so then we
nice.
can easily cross 50 to 60 tons in an acre.
Amazing. So this is ginger. This was the harvesting process. Again, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments and we will do our best to answer them. As you can see here, there's another variety of turmeric which is known as mango ginger.
Exactly.
The crop is turmeric, but the variety is known as mango ginger. What is different about this variety, sir?
This is the first time we are doing. We got little samples from Northeast and we are trying on a sample trial basis. So like you see, you can just want to taste it.
Why not? This one, I can eat it like this?
Yeah. Avoid the skin. Getting the kacha aam ka taste?
Kacha aam ka taste. Yeah. I've never had haldi like this in my life. Little kadwa. Interesting. So what is different about this unit economics?
No, we don't know anything. This is on a trial basis which we are doing.
But it's a more premium variety.
It's a yield wise, it's way less, but yeah, it's very costly.
Approximately, what's the yield going to be like?
We don't know. This is the first time we are doing.
Okay, so this is an R&D phase, just a different variety. That variety we saw was Pragati. Another variety is Lakdong, common.
Lakadong, yes.
And this is the mango ginger. Understood. So you should always do a trial, then understand and then take it further.
Yeah.
So when we consider farming to be a business, every plan has to be done considering that business has fluctuations, the market has fluctuations. So we always start a crop only when we have a buyer. We make sure we have the buyers first and then plant based on the market demands. This will help us not waste any kind of our crops. We don't need to wait for the market to come and buy from us and then worried whether they will buy it or not. We always have the buyers first. So for most of the people, farming is a service. For us, it's a service connected with a business sense, right? For us, every dollar has to make a dollar. Every rupee has to make more than a rupee. In this scenario, we always consider this to be a structured enterprise business, and then we always plan for our mitigations, risk mitigations. We structure our farming enterprise as a corporate structure, and we have roles and responsibilities defined. We have marketing teams, we have agronomists, and we have every technical aspect taken care, just in any proper business.
Yes, production is one aspect of turmeric and ginger farming, but the biggest question is the market. Where do I sell? How much will I sell for? Will I get a return on my investment? Is this business even making money? Can I make money through turmeric and ginger farming in polyhouse? Watch the video patiently till the end. We will answer each and every question. So growing is one aspect of turmeric. Sir has explained that really well, and most growers are confident about that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to marketing, there are a lot of question marks. Sure. Where do I sell? Do I get my money back? Do I get the premium? Are you able to crack the market code for turmeric and ginger?
Fundamentally, what we try and do is we have a customer even before we plant. So that's one of the things that we have always been following. The advantage with ginger and turmeric is it gives us a lot more opportunities in terms of revenue verticals when compared to, say, exotic vegetable like a capsicum or English cucumber or any of the other things, which predominantly has to be sold as fresh, right? So with ginger and turmeric, the advantage is you can have multiple revenue streams. And you can actually balance out your production and your revenue based on these revenue streams. So if you look at the revenue stream, you of course have the fresh. So that is
the
wet turmeric and the wet ginger that you can sell. You can do some basic processing, like you can sell dried ginger, you can sell powdered ginger, you can make ginger paste.
Same applies for turmeric.
The other very important revenue stream could be your planting material or your seeds for farmers. So which is again the advantage with ginger and turmeric is both that you just leave the fresh in the same coco peat medium for a longer time, about 1.5 to 2 months extra, and that becomes the planting material for the next season, right? So that is a very interesting revenue stream. But the biggest revenue stream will be in the form of value addition. That is, if you can get into bioextracts from turmeric and ginger. So typically where people talk about curcumin extraction or gingerol extraction, or there are a lot of phytochemicals from ginger that you can extract, and you can use it for various purposes. Like I was telling you earlier, ginger is apparently used even in the perfume industry, for example. So the fresh ginger. So the important thing over there is you will get a premium only if you do residue free, only if your produce is very good, predictable for your end customer. That's very, very critical.
Understood. So can you explain from the costing
Sure.
to the returns of each of these models briefly? For example, wet turmeric you spoke of, dry turmeric you spoke of. We know the production. So I mentioned 1.5 to 2 kgs
Sure.
per grow bag, per plant.
Per plant, yeah.
So roughly you're getting production, I'm assuming,
45 tons, roughly.
How much?
45 tons.
45
so
tons
30,000 plants into 1.5 kg.
Yeah, so roughly 45 tons per acre. So what is the average selling price and based on the different?
So if you look at fresh ginger currently, I'm just talking about the market price.
Wet turmeric.
So wet turmeric, wet ginger.
Wet ginger.
Wet ginger is going at about 60 rupees a kg as of today. So if you look at turmeric is also very similar. So if you look at the costing per se, let us start with right from the seed, right? So you need about 1.8 tons of seed for 1 acre of ginger or a turmeric plantation.
Similar it is.
It's very, very similar. So that into your 60 rupees, that will be your seed cost.
60 rupees per seed.
60 rupees per kg.
Per kg, sorry.
Per kg. So 1800 kgs into 60 rupees. So that would be your primary cost of seed.
That's like 1,80,000.
That's roughly your
1,80,000.
yeah.
I'll open my calculator. You said 60.
Yeah, so 1,08,000.
8,000. Okay.
Right. And the second biggest cost, or let us go in the order of the maturity of the plant, right? So once you plant, you need to start doing a coco peat top up every month. So typically in 1 acre, we have used about 100 tons of coco peat.
Per crop?
Per acre.
Per acre, per crop, or?
Per acre. So this is a one-time investment in coco peat. Every year we top it up 20%. So the 20% top up happens over a period of 8 months. Right. So if you're looking at, so the 100 tons, I'm considering it as a capex, right? 20% of that is 20 tons, which I'm considering it as an opex, which we have to keep topping up during the year.
Understood.
So typically now, if you look at the coco peat rates have gone up significantly. So we buy it at around 8 rupees per kg. So you're looking at about 1.6 lakhs per acre towards the coco peat top up.
This is all your operational costs.
This is our operational cost. Then we will come to the next cost, which is your labor.
Got it.
So when you look at your labor, like Sanjay mentioned earlier, your labor requirement in ginger and turmeric is much more lesser compared to, say, capsicum. This is much less intensive. So we typically need a lot of labor during the planting and during harvesting. Otherwise, most of the OPEX we can manage with about 1 person per acre.
That's it.
So that's it. That's good. So so if you can take even about 25,000 rupees per person per month, you are looking at 8 months, which is about 2 lakh rupees.
2 lakh rupees.
Right. So this is towards the labor. Next, let us go to the most important thing, which is the fertilizer cost. So when you look at fertilizer cost, because we use hydroponic fertilizers, we typically we spend about 3 lakh rupees per crop cycle per acre towards fertilizers.
Got it. So 3 lakh I'm calculating.
Yeah, per acre per crop cycle.
Understood. So these are all your operational expenses.
These are operational.
Anything
costs.
else you're missing?
Yeah. So then we also have our bio inputs or your biopesticides. That is typically in the range of 25 to 30,000 rupees per month.
Per month.
Per month.
Roughly 2.5 lakh rupees.
Yeah. No, actually, yeah. I mean, let me rephrase that. It is not per month. It is 50,000 rupees for 8 months.
50,000 rupees per 8 months.
For 8 months is the cost of biopesticides.
Understood.
Which is basically your neem, pseudomonas, trichoderma, and all of these things. Then you have some of the other ancillary costs like your utilities, power, which is the main thing. And if you need to have a backup, because we are in hydroponics, we can't miss cycles while we fertigate. So we need to have a generator backup. So if you include all the generator backup and the electricity costs, it comes typically around 12 to 15,000 rupees per month.
Got it. So roughly 15,000 to 8.
15,000 rupees per
into 8
month.
So that's 1,20,000.
Yeah. And we would definitely recommend and suggest that you take the services of a good agronomist, especially if you are doing it in the first crop cycle. So we have an agronomist who comes in and works with us extensively. And he has given us a lot of inputs on how we have to grow, what needs to be done, and a lot of testing he has helped us with. So you can keep the agronomist cost anywhere between 30 to 50,000 rupees per month. But this is the advantage of this is it's not like a permanent cost. It is just that in the first cycle or maybe maximum the second cycle, you need the agronomist continuously. After that, you can wean out and then do things on your own. Right. So these are broadly the costs that we are looking at. So if you take all of these costs, your per kilo cost of growing ginger or turmeric in the kind of conditions that we have and we are growing comes to a maximum of about 30 to 33 rupees. So one more important thing, Abhinav, is that we need to realize that there is economies of scale which is very important in hydroponics. So if you do like 1 acre, just 1 acre, your costs are going to be much higher. You can optimize only when you have at least a 3 acre polyhouse or a protected cultivation, because that is when you can actually have just one supervisor for all of it. So otherwise the entire supervisor cost goes to 1 acre.
1 acre.
So all your costs are getting loaded to 1 acre. So if you do at least about 3 acres, then you have sufficient economies of scale.
Understood. So what is, according to you, the operational cost per acre?
So if you look at the sheet that I sent you, it comes to 60.24 lakhs for 4 acres. So you're looking at about 15 lakhs per acre.
Mine was 13.3.
Yeah, so about 15 lakhs per acre.
Is my operational cost?
Yeah, operational cost.
That is
over a 8-month period.
Okay, this is the operational cost in simple terms. This is the cost you incur during the crop cycle, which is less than 1 year.
Yes.
And the starting point is the capital cost.
Capital cost.
In the capital cost, what is the total investment you have to do?
Yeah.
To build?
So if you look at, so you're typically, your polyhouse cost is your biggest cost. So you're looking at 1,000 rupees a square meter. So that is about 40 lakhs for 1 acre of polyhouse. Then your automation. So typical automation costs are between 7 to 10 lakhs. So these are things which can be optimized if you have a larger acreage. Otherwise, irrigation also. Otherwise, everything gets loaded onto just 1 acre.
And fixed cost of cocoa peat also.
Fixed cost. So cocoa, that is a very important cost, because we need, like I said, 100 tons of cocoa peat for one crop cycle, which we consider as capex. So you are talking about 8 lakhs per acre just for cocoa peat.
40 lakhs polyhouse, 8 lakhs per acre cocoa peat.
10 lakhs fertigation, then your
lakhs.
irrigation. So then your drip lines and your irrigation system is roughly about 7 lakhs per acre if we go in for PC and D inline drippers. Then you have your trough cost. So now, like you have seen our model, in our model, we are using weed mat and we are making troughs out of weed mat. So for us, typically the cost is about 5 to 6 lakhs per acre. So if you go in for ready-made troughs and other things, accordingly the costing might vary. Then you have again the one-time bioadditives that you have to add with the cocoa peat. Like he said, he talked about vermiculite, the FOM and all of those that we had. That roughly comes to about 1 lakh of rupees.
So we're looking at the initial capital investment anywhere between 65 to
70 lakhs
per acre. And the operational cost per acre is roughly 15 lakhs.
15 lakhs, yes.
Now let's talk about the returns.
Yes.
So first form of selling, the most fundamental is the wet turmeric.
Yes.
Then comes dry turmeric. Then comes all sorts of value addition.
Sure.
What is the kind of revenues you are seeing?
See, if you are selling just fresh turmeric or fresh ginger, there is very limited value addition, or there is very limited differentiation when you try to sell it out in the market. So you're basically dependent on the market rates. Ginger, there is a huge variation in the market rates. So ideally, what we do is, like I told you earlier, we always have a tie-up before we actually do the planting. So we go talk to our customers, ask them what is the variety that they require, what are the growing conditions, what are the SOPs that we need to follow, and what is the final product that they require, and what is the value addition that we can give them. So the value addition we are trying to give to our customers is, one, we grow residue-free produce, and because of the performance farming methodologies that we use, it is more or less a guaranteed production. Right? So it varies maybe between 40 to 50 tons. but it won't become like say 10 tons or it won't be 80 tons per acre. So there's more or less a range in which we can guarantee the production per acre. So these are very important things for a processing company, right? Because our production is not dependent on the weather conditions and various other things. So that is very critical. I would suggest anybody getting into this business to have a tie-up first before trying to plant, and don't waste so much of investment and this thing and try to sell it in the open market at the end of 8-9 months. That
Absolutely.
would be
That's golden advice. But still, sir, if you have to throw some rough numbers around.
Okay. So if you take rough numbers, it would be anywhere between 70 to 100 rupees a kilo for the fresh produce,
Wet produce.
with nutraceutical industry. If you follow all the SOPs, the
Can we assume 80 rupees average? 80 rupees into production, you said 45 tons.
45 tons, yes.
45, that's roughly, if I'm going correct, please correct me,
Sure.
45,000 into 80, that's 36 lakh rupees.
Yeah.
Is my revenue from 1 acre of ginger. Similar for turmeric?
So turmeric, again, you may not get these kind of numbers if you do fresh, because fresh will be much lesser. Because turmeric, like we mentioned earlier, is a much hardy crop than ginger. So it is easier to grow residue-free turmeric than residue-free ginger.
Okay.
Right? So there are a lot more people growing organic turmeric and residue-free turmeric in the open. So you are competing with open field when it comes to turmeric. But turmeric, there is definitely a lot of value if you do seeds, that is your planting material.
Okay, so this 36 lakh is for ginger revenue.
Ginger.
And this thing is similar, you mentioned 15 lakh rupees.
15 lakh rupees is your
operational cost.
Yeah.
So
you're looking at about 20 lakhs roughly.
Of profit per acre. And my initial capital investment was 70 lakhs.
Yeah.
So that's 70 lakhs.
At about 3.5 years.
3.5 years, I can break even.
Yes.
Provided I have proper market access.
Absolutely.
Proper market tie-up with these nutraceuticals. So you're selling exclusively to them or how?
So we have all the 4 streams of revenue. So our major revenue is from sales to nutraceutical companies.
Ginger and turmeric.
Ginger and turmeric. We have a license with IASR for a specific variety of ginger called Vajra. So from next year, we would be selling the planting material of Vajra, and this year we would be selling the planting material of Rio D and some of the Meghalaya varieties that we spoke about. So the planting material and seeds also is going to be a significant revenue. And we are also starting off with some basic processing of turmeric and ginger. So this is, like I said, dried ginger, dried turmeric and turmeric powder are some of the things that we are starting off on the value addition side of things. So we have all of these streams of revenue.
Understood. What we discussed are mostly the economics around the wet turmeric and dry turmeric and dry ginger similarly. But the numbers really change when we go towards processing, be it powder or pharmaceutical, nutraceutical. Sure. Can you throw some more light on that? How do the numbers change there?
Sure. So let me give you some broad figures. Of course, we are working towards getting into that particular area. But if you look at, say, ginger, now ginger has, if you take 15 to 20% moisture, 80% would be the material, fibrous material from in typical fresh ginger produce. When you start drying it, you typically get a 20% output from the 80%. So you're looking at 1:4.
Wet to dry.
1:4 or 1:5.
Wet to dry.
1:5.
Okay.
Right. So that is, if you have 1 kg of wet ginger, you're looking at about 200 grams of dry ginger. Now, so the typical math that works out is, even the rate is 1:5. 1:5 or 1:6. Now, but the interesting thing about dried ginger is the shelf life significantly increases when you dry ginger. So a lot of people are playing around with, so when the ginger prices crash, right, they give it for drying and store that dried ginger and sell it when the ginger prices go up. Because you get 1:5 off the price when you are selling it. So that's a interesting play that is available in ginger and turmeric.
So another feedback for people, a lot of people want to get into this space. How can they access such buyers? Like, you need not tell who you're selling to, but
Sure.
how do you reach out to nutraceutical pharma companies or these buyers who are buying at a fixed rate and who want quality produce? Because with product cultivation, you're able to produce residue-free, high quality. And it'll only make sense, the investment, when someone's paying you the right price.
Absolutely.
Someone is creating demand for your supply, right? How do you get to these people?
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting question, because the dichotomy of the entire thing is that the nutraceutical companies are also actively looking for people who can grow residue free and things like that.
Is that so?
Yeah, because residue free is a very big problem in the Indian scenario. So the nutraceutical companies are actively looking at farmers who can grow residue free and who can grow as per the SOPs that they have and give the material that they want. So there are a lot of nutraceutical companies who are, like, for example, a couple of months ago, there was a exhibition in Delhi called Bharat Nutraverse. That was one of its kind nutraceutical exhibition where more than 200 nutraceutical companies from India participated in that exhibition.
Okay.
So I was there actively talking to all these nutraceutical companies and trying to engage with them and understand what is the future and what is it that we can
What do you learn there?
into. So again, the learning is that there is a severe dearth of quality produce when it comes to ginger and turmeric in India, and there is huge demand for these from these companies, because a lot of these nutraceutical companies are in fact importing from various parts of Africa and Southeast Asia.
Is it?
So we are, I mean, ginger and turmeric is native to India, turmeric especially. But you'll be surprised to note that we are one of the highest importers of turmeric as well.
Yeah, despite being
despite being one of the largest producers of turmeric.
So in terms of market now, like, how do you get your produce to these buyers? Like the logistics, your farm is quite far from the city.
Sure.
That's also an important factor. Like your cost of growing per kg, it'll also include your logistics, right?
Yeah. So the advantage there is, again, the shelf life of fresh ginger or fresh turmeric is not as bad as that of a capsicum or whatever. You can easily keep it for 15 to 20 days in transport before it goes to the end customer. All you will lose is a little bit of moisture. Of course, you need to take some precautions in terms of ensuring that there is no humidity, the moisture while packing and things like that. If you ensure that by the time it reaches the customer, it is still good, even 15 to 20 days time.
Understood. So it's not a very...
And most of our contracts are, like I told you, these are all long-term contracts that we have with our customers. So we engage with them not when we are not at the time of harvest. We have a continuous engagement with them. Every alternate month, they come to us, visit our farm, take samples, give us a report, tell us what is good, what is not good. And
so they
then
do the testing.
Yeah, absolutely. So because for them it's very important, because their customer at the end of the day wants the traceability, wants to know what is the practices in the farm that has been growing this particular raw material. And residue levels are very, very important, because one of the things that happens while processing is you are shrinking the size of the material, right? So from 1 kg, you dried it and it came to 20%, it came to 200 grams. And from that, you are doing extracts, which will be probably just about 10 or 10 grams, 8 to 10 grams of the final extract that you are looking at from 1 kg produce, right? So the same thing happens with pesticides. So if you have residues pesticides, that also gets amplified when you actually do the extraction. So it is very important that you follow strict protocols, follow the SOPs that your customer gives you. And the testing of the produce throughout the life cycle of the produce is very, very critical. And everything starts with the seed or the planting material. If you get seeds which has residue, which has pesticides, you will have it in your final produce also, even though you have followed the entire SOP and the process. So it's an entire life cycle. You need to be very, very careful with it.
Final thing, sir, like you always said, you're ensuring that the buyer has a demand, only then you will grow.
Yeah.
And you are a profit-focused company.
Sure.
What are the things from a financial lens growers and people must do to ensure that their turmeric and ginger farming is profitable? Just one piece of advice.
I think, never compromise on the quality of your capex, right? I think that is one of the important things. We might feel initially that we are spending 60 lakhs, 65 lakhs for 1 acre. Whereas if you say, go for some simple structure or say a 5-meter structure instead of 7.5-meter structure, we might save a lot of cost and things like that. But that has long-term implications on whatever you're trying to do. So one of the definite pieces of advice is that don't compromise on capex if the quality is good, because long-term that will definitely serve you and help you get your produce in line. So that is very true for, again, the planting material, the quality of fertilizers that you use, the quality of coco peat that you use, right? So all of those things need to be tested and ensured that it is of the best quality that is available.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
वीडियो को अंत तक देखने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. बहुत समय बाद इंग्लिश में वीडियो बनाया, मुझे भी काफ़ी अलग लगा, बट यहाँ पे इंग्लिश ज़्यादा स्पोकन लैंग्वेज था. इस वीडियो को आप शायद इंग्लिश और हिंदी दोनों में देख रहे होंगे, क्योंकि मैंने इसका एक डब्ड वर्जन भी डाला होगा वीडियो में, डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हेन यू आर वाचिंग द वीडियो. अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया तो सबसे पहले वीडियो को लाइक कर लीजिए, कमेंट करिए, और दोस्तों प्लीज़ एंगेज करिए, शेयर करिए. काफ़ी मेहनत करके हम ये वीडियोस आप तक पहुंचा रहे हैं, एंड आपका सपोर्ट हमारे चैनल को और हमारे मेहनत और मिशन को बहुत सारे लोगों तक ले जाएगा. थैंक यू फॉर योर सपोर्ट एंड सी यू इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो.